to the AFC South. Uh,
Yep, yep. So here with the AFC South, our record predictions. So I'll start
yeah.
off on this one. I've been very high on Indianapolis, and I had them winning this division. I had them actually going 15-2, just according to this, and actually not losing a division game.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually I think they're going to beat Jacksonville and Houston both times. And I don't even think that that's much of a stretch. Beating Tennessee twice, that'll be kind of tough. But I think it's possible. I think at worst they maybe split a game with them. But I'm looking at Indianapolis, and I'm really liking their
Mm-hmm.
schedule. They could potentially. I had them beating the LA Rams in the second week. That's a coin toss. But I do also have them losing to Miami in week 4. So that could also be a coin toss
Yeah.
as well. So they could be 2-2. They could also be 4-0, and then really then just hitting the stretch. Their big stretch is going to be uh, um, weeks 6 through actually weeks 5 through weeks 10. Their toughest game is going to be on the road against San Francisco. Other than that, they're playing at Baltimore, home against Houston, home against Tennessee, the Jets, and Jaguars. I think they should win all of those
Mm-hmm.
games. San Francisco, I have them winning, but that could be a toss-up one as well because San Francisco will be coming off a
Yeah.
bye. So the back end of the schedule actually gets a little dicey because they end the season with after uh, week let's see, after their bye week in week 14, they got to play the Patriots, the Cardinals, the Raiders, and Jacksonville to
Mm-hmm.
end the season. So Jacksonville will be pretty easy, but Vegas could be fine for a playoff spot. Arizona will
Mm-hmm.
as well, and also so will
And
New
the
England. So
Dolphins
that'll
and
be a
I
fun
mean the
little.
Chiefs I think will be. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not. That's a little further ahead. Uh, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
no, like you said, I mean, I have the Colts going 14-3, and I have them
Hmm.
splitting the games with Tennessee in the division. Uh,
Okay, and I had them going 15 and
yeah,
two.
and so they're
Yeah,
my number 2 seed in the
yeah.
AFC. For me, I mean, they have one of the
Uh-huh.
easier division schedules. I have the Houston Texans going 0-17. It doesn't sound like Deshaun Watson
Really?
is going to play this year. Uh, it sounds like Davis Mills is going to be their starting quarterback. They have no defense whatsoever. So I have them going 0-17. I think the Jaguars may have a later push, but I also have them going 3-14. I just think they're a young team that's not quite as experienced. And then Tennessee, I have at 11 and
Yeah.
6, and they're my eighth team in the AFC. So just missing out
Okay.
on that wild card spot. But I think the Colts are one of the probably the most improved teams, uh, just because of the quarterback position alone. Not that I think Philip Rivers had a lot of
Yeah.
problems last year. I just think he wasn't what he once was, and I think Carson Wentz gives them another element to that game that they very much would like to play.
Yeah. The Colts, I think, are going to be a deadly team this year because I know there's going to be a lot of questions with
Mm-hmm.
Carson Wentz, and those are fair questions, especially after his just kind of his fall in Philadelphia. But I wonder how much of that was
Mm-hmm.
organizational structure as well, because I think we've all been in jobs when it's like this is not interesting anymore, and also then when you're starting getting benched for
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, who we'll see how that
Mm-hmm.
goes. And there's a lot of probably stuff going on in the locker room. He's probably
Yeah.
ready to
Yeah.
go, and so I am not falling into the narrative that he's going to be great because he's now back together with Frank Wright. I actually just believe that there's more talent in there, and he's an experienced veteran with a new team, a new fresh start, and really he's got all the weapons around him. I mean that Colts run game is deadly, and once when they start kind of going downhill
Yeah.
and,
Oh
and,
yeah.
and start really uh, opening up that run game, then the pass game becomes open up, and they've got a pretty
Mm-hmm.
solid defense as well. That's why it's like I don't think it's a stretch that they win all 6 of
No, no,
their
no. Because
division
if
games.
they can shut
So
down Derrick
um,
Henry, I know the Titans just added Julio Jones, but if you can make Ryan Tannehill have to beat you, I'll take that over Derrick Henry any day of the week. So
well, and also that
yeah.
Titans defense is
Mm-hmm.
pretty weak as well. So if you can keep that offense off the
Mm-hmm.
field,
Yeah.
that'll help out a lot. I will wrap up. So I did end up getting Houston. I gave them the benefit of the doubt of beating the New York Jets in Week 12. Um, I just felt bad.
That's a pity win.
Go. Yeah, it was a pity win. Jacksonville, I had something similar. I had them 4-13. I
Hmm.
think they're going to be fun to watch, um, but I do have them beating Houston twice. Tennessee, I have them actually barely sneaking in. I have them at 10-7, and so I gave them a little bit of benefit of the doubt with Julio going up against some of these other
Hmm.
middle of the road teams that might have had a little bit weaker defenses. So, for example, there's a big pivotal game in Week 17 of Miami at Tennessee. I gave the edge to Tennessee because I think that their offense is going to be a little bit more high powered. So, but that could easily switch, to be honest. So it's going to be
Yeah.
very tight for Tennessee this year.